When you look at the Academy's new rules and guidelines for inclusivity and diversity for the Best Picture nominees, is it going to change Hollywood? Is it going to make a change?
Who knows if it'll actually make a change? What I do love about it is that it shifts what we as an industry are saying is of value. We are saying that women are of value, people of color are of value, people who have not been represented enough in film are to be valued, and we are going to reward people who do that.
The future will be when we don't have to have the discussion about color when it comes to storytelling. You know, the pages of a book are black and white. End of. You know, we need to be telling stories about having to discuss who made it, how it's made, and whether it's fair. We need to get to that place, and that's what I hope, you know, this junction really, really portrays, you know, for the future.
I think it's one of the bravest and most amazing things that the Academy has done. You know, they said that they cared about this thing, and you can't fault them for being true to their word. There has been so much backlash against this, and I think artists are worried that this is some kind of squashing of artistic license and storytelling ability. I'm taking a more kind of centrist approach because I think the heart is there and the will is there, and this could be a force for good. And we don't yet know what this means. In theory, I think it's a really wonderful thing.
I think it's a step in the right direction. And I think like Roseanne said, I think it'd be interesting to see how it actually pans out. You know what I mean? Let's give it time. Let's give it space to really come into effect, and let's see what happens.
I don't think it's a good idea, and I'll tell you why. Because to me, in the end, it's about exclusion, which is discrimination. I mean, just a recent example, there was a movie that I thought was excellent last year, a movie called 1917, that would not be eligible under these rules. I applaud the sentiment behind it and the idea behind it. It solves some problems, but it adds new problems that are not necessary. I don't think the root of exclusion and discrimination is the way to go.
I look at it as an opportunity to expand, to be able to think beyond. You know, I'm hoping that people will be more creative. You can hire a person that's not white for that role because there's nothing in that role that color has anything to do with. You may have written it with someone white in mind, but then you cast someone that's Black in it. Allow them to bring all of those wonderful things that have to do with being Black to the role that makes it that much more complex.
I think it's a step in the right direction, absolutely. But I think if you steady it, no one's really locked in. People of color, a certain amount, women, a certain amount, in the crew, but nobody, you know, it's all sort of, if you will. Right. It's not dependent on, otherwise the movie can't be produced. So it's still the money talking, I feel.
The thing that the Academy does, the thing that our industry does, is it positions for culture who and what is valued. And I guarantee you, anyone who is upset about these changes probably is someone who has benefited from the lack of representation of people who don't look like them. Anyone and everyone who applauds it, anyone and everyone who is on that list of marginalized groups that are now going to be represented are cheering and going, finally, you will become irrelevant and obsolete if you don't make this shift, because the audience are speaking and they are letting us know what they want, and we better give them what they want and what they value. And that's what I see represented in those new measures. They are acknowledging what the audience value and what we should value.